definitely a good day. And the reason why it's a good day is because I actually asked Ceci. I was like, Ceci, what are you grateful for? And she goes, the sun is out. And I
That's a
said,
good reason.
there we go. That actually works out, because sometimes we really honestly don't even like look at the small things, and you know, this is a good day to start looking at that. But
Well,
anyway,
I would say today for other reasons. I'm excited. Are you ready for it?
what is it?
All right. It is National Sugar Cookie Day.
I could go with that one.
My kids are excited. I had to text my wife and my kids, be like, "Hey, it's National Sugar Cookie Day," and I would be willing to bet they're inside making sugar cookies right now because they're like, "That's a good excuse."
I like that. I like that. You send subliminal messages. Oh, so Eric, I don't know if you guys captured this, but
Yeah, I saw your video yesterday. So interesting.
yeah, it happens. But what was happening was it was like a moment to go ahead and spend some time with Ceci, and the people over at the Bliss Nail Spa said, San Martin, sit down and get yourself a manicure. And so I did. I got myself a manicure, and then I matched the I don't know if you guys can see that. I matched the pinky to Ceci's whole hand. So, anyways, I ain't got no shame in my game, bro.
No, I saw they're all masked up and behind shields, and they made you all mask up. I mean, they weren't messing around.
Yeah, no, it's you deal with some people's funky little spots, man. So I can see why they would have to make sure that they get everything clean. It's really clean there. They make you put the mat. They don't make you. They graciously ask you, and everybody obliges. It seems like. And then they say, "Please go wash your hands." And so I'm like, "Oh, okay." You know what I mean? But obviously, that's
On your
what
hands.
I already washed my hands, but I'll wash it again just because. So
They take it. They do pedicures too. They do all of it, right?
they do it all, my friend. And the other cool thing about it is that they actually get uh, the product, the tools that they use. I mean, obviously this ain't one of them. They sterilize them all, so they basically have to re-sterilize all of their stuff that they use on your cuticles, your fingernails, and so everything that comes out is fairly new. So I like that. Well, not fairly new, is disinfected, I think. I don't know if it's come back. It comes in a package deal, so they open it up right in front of you. So I never thought it was that extensive. I just thought that you just give them your hand and all of a sudden they just go to town. But nope, it's actually really extensive. So I was kind of pleased to see that. I never been to a salon like that as far as them, taking precautions like that. And even for their pedicures, it got manicures for your hands, pedicures for your feet, even for the pedicures, they got that's all set up to where it's just 100% safe. So as far as like I think they do that on the regular already. It just what I felt good. I felt good doing it. It was cool. Mm. Excuse me.
Yeah, you felt good, and then you start coughing. That's a great.
I was getting all choked up, my friend, because it was a good day. It was a
That was
good day to go ahead and hang out with great company. So this morning we were supposed to have Gina, and I can't pronounce her last name, and I'm so sorry. We're supposed to have her on. She says that she might be able to come in on a 10:30, so she won't be able to get the 8:45 morning show. So we'll see what happens. But guess what? I'm going to be doing after this, Eric.
I don't know.
I'm going to be.
I don't know if I'd be
I'm going to
scared
be
or I should be excited.
excited, man. I'm going to be headed over there to the Hungry Badger Adventure and Catering food truck, and we're going to be talking about some top secret event
Oh, secret menus.
secret menus, but also a secret event. And I think I'm just going to tell everybody here. So
Wait,
I
wait, wait,
mean,
wait. Tell everybody it's not secret anymore.
I really don't care.
Okay.
What's going to be secret is the covert wording for the actual event. And I started thinking about it this morning, and I know it's a little bit touchy, but I mean, to be in all honesty, man, I am. I'm exhausted. I'm so exhausted with a lot of things that are happening online. The persecution of wearing a mask, not wearing a mask, believing it's real, believing it's not real, the numbers spiking, the numbers dying. It's just insane how much stress that comes on there. But I actually had an actual doctor from Texas did a crazy study on his patients, which once again, when you go into, you know, the doctor's office, it's what do they call it, Eric?
Practice.
A practice. So anyways, this doctor, he says that out of all the flus, they had a proper protocol on how they took care of their patients and stuff. And this time around he did the same thing, added one more thing, but he actually treated the virus at the early stage when you started getting symptoms and started taking the medication. And he says that you could go ahead and fix this medication under $50. And he's had 100% recovery rate. And I basically, obviously, you got to question everything. So I sent it to a couple of my doctor friends, a couple of my nurses, and a couple, uh, you know, uh, people on the left and right side, Democrats and Republicans. And I say that in a way because it's kind of weird, because I feel like there's some Republicans that are kind of like, oh yeah, yeah, put the mask on, but there's also some Republicans that are like, no, and then a lot of Democrats are like, whatever the president says, we don't care, we're not going to listen. So
It's it's funny, San Martin. I posted that article about TikTok, which is bad, 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 bad. If you're worried about COVID tracking, you should be more worried about TikTok. But anyway, I had political comments on that. And it's like, no, it's not political. It's they're pulling data out of your phone.
oh yeah,
That you're giving them permission to do it. There's nothing political about it. I don't care who wrote the article or the thousands of articles. You can find them on both sides.
yeah,
And the sad part is, I actually had to think, okay, don't want to post it from this source because I'm afraid somebody's going to say it's too right. I don't want to post it from this source because I'm afraid somebody's going to say it's too left. So I did my best to find the most neutral source, and I still got criticism that it was, oh, well, this is because of this party. And I'm like, wow, okay. No, it is a fact. They are stealing data out of your phone.
what you should do is use the credibility of what your company is all about, and that's data breaching. And if you actually go into the rules and regulations in China, which is what is it? I mean, what is their what is their dictatorship, right?
They are dictatorship. Yeah.
So basically, if you go into
Dictatorship. Yeah.
yeah, if you go and do anything there, they own the rights to anything. And if you have an online app, and the owner of TikTok actually said, I will go ahead and actually do as I'm told, because I am a part of the Communist Party, and I will help my government, and the government says that they own everything. They will take all the information, they will go ahead and do what they please with that information. And so far, the crappy part about this, Eric, is that it's been in the States for so many years that it already has a lot of information. I got word back in like half a year ago, maybe a year ago, that the army people were not allowed to go ahead and utilize that anymore.
Right.
It's a data breach, not to mention it's taking facial recognition. And if
Yep.
you guys know anything about China, you go to China right now, and they got cameras everywhere, and all they're doing is they do a social recognize
Social scoring. Is that what you're talking about?
yeah, social scoring. So what makes them not being, taking care of what we're doing here? So, anyways, I reposted on the Prescott Times. So if you guys don't think that's true, you guys can definitely 100% go do your research. I mean, go check out China and their Communist Party and see if you want to
Well,
believe.
and San Martin, we do a lot of business with China. I mean, obviously, at least not so much anymore, but we used to. And you got to realize that every company has some ownership by the Chinese government. Every company that's there. There is not a company that is a standalone company that does not have the Chinese government's fingers in their company. So
Yeah.
even if you think you're dealing with an independent company, they have some ownership from the Chinese government. So I have never installed that app ever because it scares the heck out of me.
Yeah, there's a lot of apps that should scare the heck out of everybody.
They do, yeah, and it's because again, it's not about you're like, well, I don't post anything; it's just there. When you installed it, you agreed to give them access to certain things within your phone, and like I said, it is more dangerous than any COVID tracking app that you could possibly think of because they're tracking your phone calls, they're tracking your movements. I mean, it's scary. So anyway, hopefully we wise up a little bit, and or maybe they can come out with a COVID app where we can do cool videos to each other, and everybody will install it. I don't know. But
It's
it's
wording,
just
Eric. It's definitely wording, man. I mean, even if you actually got an app, you could go ahead and start, boosting everybody's numbers so they start feeling good. Because once again, when you start seeing numbers on those likes, everybody really, really gets intense. They get really happy, really excited. And I don't know if I wasn't talking to you about this, but Google actually owns a patent where it actually does this mind control. It's kind of weird, guys, but you could actually go look it up. It's a pulsating light that they actually could put on the screen that makes you want to come back. It's weird. It stimulates your brain in some cases. And what it does is, oh, okay. So for instance, whenever we had our phones back in our days, okay, the phone back in the days would have that red flashing light. When that red flashing light popped up, what was that? A notification. So what was our instant reaction? Oh my God, I got a notification. And then all of a sudden, Facebook comes up and they're like, oh my God, I got 50 likes. Oh my God, I got 100 likes. Oh my God, I got 500 friends. And everybody was so stimulated by this deal. So just imagine, Eric, if you started an app right now and started telling everybody, inflating their numbers and making them feel really, really good just to make them come back, would you do it?
and that's the deal. I mean, the whole thing that you're talking about, it's training, right? They're training people to. It's like the monkeys. I mean,
Yep.
there's no different there. I remember when it was a red light too. It was like, oh, there's a notification.
Yep,
You know,
exactly, Eric.
it's
And
funny.
that actually came out years ago. That study came out years ago.
Yeah. Well, have you ever seen? It's like a meme, and it's an old meme. We can get back on topic in a minute, but it's got a picture of a mailbox and an email. And 20 years ago, you got an email. It was like you've got mail, and people got all excited, because they got an email. And when they got mail, they're like, ugh, there's stuff in the mailbox. And now, fast forward now, you get like 100 emails a minute, most of it junk, and it's just like, ah. But you get a letter, and it's like, oh, I got a letter.
Yeah, resort back to the things that stimulate your mind, and that's something that you have to do on some occasions. So, anyways, that's how people do it. They stimulate their minds by certain things, and if you guys want to go do that research, you're more than welcome to. A lot of people say, "Okay, Mister Conspiracy Theorist," and I'm just like, "Well, I don't know what to believe. If it's in writing, is it true or is it not true? And if it's in the patent office and it's actually owned by somebody, is it true or is it not true?"
And the deal, and just because I've got a bunch of patents. I don't know if you can see them here on the wall, but if you don't use a patent, you'll lose it. So if you think that these people are just filing patents that they're not going to use, you're kidding yourself. So as I know, I'm not as big a conspiracy theorist as one other person may be here, but this is one of those things to be scary of what the amount of data that can be pulled off, the amount of sensors, the amount of things that can be pulled off a phone. I've seen it firsthand, and it's scary. And so I am really cautious with these apps.
Yeah, and it's really easy for them to do. I mean, I know a computer programmer and also he's a code talker just like you, and he has the ability to make bots. And bots are automatic responses or automatic things that just automatically happen on your computer. And he built these bots to do things for games online. And so you'd buy this bot in order for you to get those points and those dollars, like on I don't know if you guys remember Mafia or whatever. And you had to go in there every day and you had to fight people all over wherever, whoever was fighting you with their game. But anyways, he made bots to go ahead and just play itself so you could go ahead and keep up in the rankings, and you paid for it. And he made me a bot for MySpace, and that's how I ended up getting the thousands and thousands of people. But they weren't fake; they were actually. But my bot was to be made to go ahead and send out thousands and thousands of friend requests, and it also made a bot to send out messages and send out things that will be sent out to the whole friends list or put it onto their page. I don't know if you remember MySpace, but you had a page and you had a comment section. That's where I would automatically just press a button and it would automatically do all the likes and shares, and that's what happens. And Facebook actually has bots, and if you guys haven't seen that, if you ever create an event, it will say invite all your friends. That is exactly what he made back in the days. So and he made a whole bunch of things, Eric. Like you could go ahead and track an IP address. You type in the code in the background, and all you had to do was comment on that specific little line, and he would capture your IP address, he would capture. Well, that's all he really needed. That's all he actually really. Oh no, captured IP address and obviously location of where you're at, and it was just a simple code that was in the background, and nobody's seen it, and that's what happens. So
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. This is the kind of stuff I actually go on national TV and talk about all day long. So I can talk about all this stuff forever. So we probably should get back to the local program, but it is the stuff that can be done. You're right, and not MySpace was 15 years ago already. Can you believe that? And if you think that this stuff isn't going on Facebook, you're kidding yourself.
yeah, it definitely is.
So, all right, besides it being hot, is today the big hot day or what? What's going on locally here? And I also saw some
It's
other
gonna
stuff.
be really, really hot.
So, what do we have today?
Oh, actually, I just got an official thing says Yavapai County COVID-19 recommendations for events and gatherings effective June 29th, well, obviously last month. Organized public events of more than 50 people are prohibited unless the city, town, or county is unincorporated areas has approved the event, and only if adequate safety precautions are implemented, including physical distancing measures. Evaluating risk levels. Event with lowest risk are virtual only gatherings. Those with a moderate risk include smaller outdoor and in-person gatherings in which individuals remain 6 feet apart, wear face masks, and do not share objects and come from the same local area. Medium-sized events. It's crazy that just came in because I was thinking about this event. I might as well tell you since they're kind of like just
Oh yeah, the special secret event. All right.
a special secret event, Eric. Okay, so you know how they said that a lot of like states are saying, events are okay as long as you're rioting. So I was thinking about calling my event the Riot Food Market or food truck festival. So I'm going to call it Riot Food Truck Festival and see if I can go ahead and get it passed. I'm gonna host a riot, guys, and we're gonna have
and some
food
good food.
and eat some good food. I think that's my number one goal right now is eat some good food. So that's basically kind of what I was thinking. And then we got this letter in. I'll go ahead and share it sooner than later. Um, yeah, this is them basically. I don't know. They're actually giving a rule of how to go ahead and host an event. So
Really? So so is this like an event at your home? Is this like an event out in public? What is it?
it would be an event on a private property. So the city sometimes thinks that they have regulation. Prescott Valley definitely thinks that they have regulation over a private entity location. So, but anyways, man, um, Prescott doesn't really take care too kind of. I mean, they don't really care. I called before. They're like, yeah, if it's on private property, we don't need to be involved. If it has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that's going to impede traffic, then yes, of course we get involved. But all we do is come in and help your traffic. So I was like, oh, that's cool. So, but anyway, you still got to have all the event insurance and make sure everybody's licensed to sell and stuff like that. But private property, man, it's private property. You can basically do what you want, but it looks like over time people are saying stop doing these functions, and one of them was church functions, and that's kind of getting a little bit of a stir. But once again, the church has actually learned how to go ahead and still congregate with online meetings and the ability to basically tune in whenever, and they were actually getting more of a response that way than they were in the same building, because people would be able to tune in because guess what? It was easy for them. So I mean, it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing, but a lot of people ain't really chattering about it. Like the churches ain't really going up in arms like, oh my God, you can't let me go to church, and then all of a sudden
There's some church outbreaks, and I think that's why I've heard underground rumblings of people, and so I don't think that they're in, really wanting to push that narrative right now.
yeah, and so it's truth. So anyways,
And definitely, kudos and props to the churches that are doing online broadcasts and things like that. I know it's harder to collect the donation plate that way, but I love seeing again innovation, and so we're seeing more and more people watch this stuff online, and
yes,
I think they're getting more attendance online by
yeah,
doing that. So hopefully they'll stop that.
a lot more attendance, and it's pretty interesting to see how, like, once again, when we first started this, you're like, got to start inventing new things. You have to start putting new things on the plate. I have to start doing this, have to start doing that. And here we are. We're moving forward, and we're getting things like initiatives are helping. And that kind of brings me up to what I want to say now is, I ran into, her name is Mona, and Mona was like, man, there's so much problems going on, but there's also so many people that are not working. But the crazy cool part about it is that they all are starting little side gigs to
These are
start to.
awesome. Oh yeah, I know people too, and they got laid off. I'm like, there's no better time right now to try to start something.
Well, this is what she's kind of a journalist. So she says, Martine, I seen everything that you guys are doing. You guys are freaking blowing up. It's crazy. Like she was giving the praise, and I was just like, wow, this is amazing. But she says, I want to be a part of it, and so she wants to go ahead and help out her community, which is Prescott, and help out those that are in need that don't have jobs, because obviously restaurants, bars, and all that are just like they're hurting right now. And so I said, well, if you want to head it up, let's do it. So we have the first person on, and he actually makes beard butter. So I'm so excited about this. I was like, perfect. And I know Sam, and he's been doing it for a while, but he also has he's also a bartender and waiter, and he does this. He goes shows up at little festivals or whatever, when he pops up, has a little butter man, and he slangs it. Obviously, to bearded men, and I guess if there's bearded women out there, it will work for you too. And it smells really, really good, so it works out. So I'm kind of like, I'm impressed by the idea, and I'm like, I would love for that to be happening. Let's see if we can help out.
Yeah, we've talked about this a lot. We've talked about businesses reinventing themselves, but man, if you can and you want to start a business, there is no better time than right now.
Yeah,
I
no better time than
no
right now.
better time to ever start a business or a side hustle. So we've always been encouraging the businesses to go out and kind of reinvent themselves. But if you ever wanted to build a business and start maybe even a side hustle, even if it's not a full-time gig, there is no better time than right now, especially for those that did get laid off. You've got 3 weeks of unemployment left.
Yeah,
Go do it.
yeah, and once again, also about the stimulus, they it looks like they're getting closer. Eric, do you know anything about that yet? So it kind of puts some light on the end of.
It's like a boomerang. It's like, oh, we've got something, and then no, the other party or somebody else can't agree on it. So I don't think we're going to see anything until after July 31st, and the current package expires, and we actually really see, you know, how many people are out of work and things like that. I think there's a wait and see attitude, because I think everybody feels that they jumped the gun and they did it too early. And at the end
Yeah,
of the day, San Martin, this is all going to be paid back. So it's not like the government's inventing free money. It's going to affect everybody through inflation or deflation or taxes. And so I'm glad they're being cautious and at least watching what's going on before they just act.
yeah, I'm very, I'm happy that a lot of people, only took it if they needed it,
Yep.
and I haven't needed it, but it just seems like there's no end, and entertainment is obviously going backwards rather than forwards, because they're saying huge spike, but the narrative went from deaths to now positive cases.
Yeah, sick and side effects.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, guys, this is insane. I don't know what to believe, and it's just crazy. But if you guys look at it, you see the what do you see? You see the death rate going down, and that's what everybody was scared of. But now they're also saying, oh, wait. There's long term effects, and I'm thinking, it's only been what, 6 months? How are you going to go ahead and measure the long term effects already? I'm just like,
Right.
geez.
And I want to talk about what our local problem is right now, and this is something that literally bugs me every year. Is It's ant time. Just before the monsoons come, the ants come looking for water. I don't know about you, but in every single property in my own house, I've got ants coming in like crazy right now. And I've been told by the exterminators, oh, it's just Yavapai County. The Yavapai County ants are insane. And so, are you having ants? Because I cannot get rid of them anywhere, and it's just here. They're looking for water.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of ants everywhere. I mean, they're definitely everywhere. But I mean, we have like a little flower bed and stuff like that. So I feel like they go there more
You're
than.
making them go outside. You're watering the outside. Yeah, they're coming in looking for water at our places.
Yeah, and once again, they do probably need some water. So man, you go out there and water those plants, and you
Yeah,
let them hang out over there.
when
But
it rains, they all go away.
Yeah, it's I don't know. There is a lot of ant problem, but whenever you see a flume of them or whatever, you follow it back to their little hideout, man, with some good old ant killer, and it usually helps out until the next round comes around.
I was battling a massive anthill for 4 years, and they were winning. And this year, I finally won. And what worked was diatomaceous earth.
What is it?
It's called DE or diatomaceous earth. It's crushed shells, and I put that around the anthill. And this was a massive anthill. We're talking like 3 foot tall. Like I was battling this thing I would dig it up with a pickaxe, and they would win. And this year, I finally put some of this stuff down. It looks like white powder everywhere, and bam, that anthill, I won the battle finally. They are gone. But now all their friends are coming to my house.
Yeah, yeah. They're like, we'll teach them. Now they're all their cousins and friends are there. That's funny, Eric. So, okay. So earlier we were talking about the weather, and guess what? It's gonna be hot this week, but today's gonna be a fairly moderate day. Not
It
too
is
crazy.
89, right? That's what I was saying.
89. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. 89 right now. But
But I
tomorrow,
saw 98. What day is that?
97, 96, 91, 90. And then next week, we're starting to get some clouds in. So
Oh,
it's a
monsoons.
start. But I don't see no droplets on my little screen here. So the forecast is saying nothing but hotness, man. But
It's going to be a hot weekend. Wow.
it's nice in the what do you call it? It's nice in the shade in Prescott. So you can still enjoy Prescott without having to worry about what else is going on there
Well,
out
you know
there.
what? If it's 97 here, it's going to be close to 118 in Phoenix, 117 in Phoenix.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a good 20-degree split most of the time. So I'm, certainly thankful to not be at 117 degrees, and then the humidity's here, so it makes it worse.
All right, so there's a little bit of a release going off right now, and it's July 16th, which is in next week.
A
So
week from
July 16th, there's going to be a police procession to honor hospital healthcare workers during pandemic, which is kind of weird because we didn't have what do you call it a parade, but we're going to have this, and we're going to celebrate people that don't want us to go out there in the public. So I think you're going to stay in your car. So that's what I'm thinking is that it's all going to be in the car. Nobody's going to get out. But anyways, we'll go ahead and post that release here lately. But if you guys want to know what's actually happening, and there's a bunch of police officers and people just driving around frantically, this is what's happening. So July 16th, police procession to honor hospital healthcare workers during pandemic. The Prescott Valley Police Department will participate in an emergency vehicle procession, quote, honoring our superheroes event with 12 other local agencies on Thursday, July 16th, beginning at 10 a.m. The procession will include 13 Quad City first responding agencies with lights and sirens activated. The event, superheaded by the Northern Arizona VA healthcare system, will recognize the relationship between local community hospitals and frontline healthcare staff who have been battling the COVID-19 pandemic. The VA health care system police service has invited area first responders to pay tribute to those heroes with the emergency vehicle procession at all three medical centers, the Northern Arizona VA Hospital, the Yavapai Regional Medical Centers West, Prescott, and the East and Prescott Valley.
So
The
is
health
this all? Is this all communities that are getting together to do this, or is this? I thought it was
yeah,
just going to be Prescott Valley. Okay, so it's everybody.
Prescott Valley to Prescott to the VA. I don't know how the map is. I'm pretty sure they'll release the map. Um, So the procession will be on July 16th and will stage at 9:30 a.m. at the Finley Toyota Center parking lot in Prescott Valley and visit YRMC East before traveling to Prescott. Traffic control will be provided by the Prescott Valley and Prescott Police Departments and VA Police while on VA property. Police ask that residents not be alarmed at the emergency lights and sirens while this event is taking place and exercise caution and patience as the procession honors the work and sacrifices of our healthcare professionals. So it's a good cause, but a lot of people said, so let me get this straight. But then again, you guys got to understand that at the parade, it brings people together. This one is literally a parade of police officers and personnel driving, through the parking lots. And I don't know if the healthcare workers are going to come outside or what's going to happen. But anyways, just so you guys are not alarmed, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. So Eric, tell me a little bit about what is going on for your weekend coming up. Are
Well,
you gonna? Do
clearly,
you
if
guys
it's
have
going to be
anything
97
planned
there,
or?
it won't be outside as much.
Oh, We need to go ahead and get a pool going, man. Where it's just my pool.
Yeah,
So
no, there are very few pools in Prescott. That's one thing I learned.
there are a few. Well, I mean, in its rightful manner, because I mean, to maintain a pool will probably be costing extra money that you can't even utilize over the years. So if you don't have a heated pool, then there's no point in having one here. Not to mention, it's just too much maintenance that you can't really enjoy all the year. Okay, so Eric, like I said, we were supposed to have some council members. We have some already booking, but we'll see if they go ahead and join up. One of the things that is kind of like um, a little bit of a not a letdown, but you want to go ahead and hope with the election, so everybody knows who they're putting into office. And when you give them a platform, you want to make sure that they have like the proper like tools in order for everybody to get to know them. So we really want to help out. So I was kind of not let down. I was kind of saddened that we weren't able to have Gina on this morning, but she will want to go on after 10:30, I think. So we might be doing a pop-up little meeting because I really want everybody to know who these people are. Just because it's something that you guys need to know. So I think we will do like a pop-up event with that, just so that everybody knows if you're watching right now. And one of the I was thinking about what do I want to do today.
What do you want
And
to do today?
I think I'm actually going to go to what do you call it? I'm going to go to the Hungry Badger right after this. I'm going to actually do breakfast.
What we're actually seeing is the systematic implementation of the fall of the Republican.
Sorry.
Oh, you're into the conspiracy theories again.
No, it was actually posted on my it was posted on the videos that we're on right now. So I was like, oh, what is this? And I thought it was like because we were what do you call it? Talking about certain things. So, anyways, I actually watched that video. I gotta watch it again because I think I had one eye open last night. Like, oh my gosh, look at this. I get so many videos sent to me, and my head is like this, exploding with like,
All right.
what the heck is really going on? So,
Well,
anyways,
anyway, on that note, it is our time already. Can you believe it?
I can't believe it. I got more things to do, my friend. I got a lot to do. I mean, we're gonna be on the video all
Excited
morning.
about live with the Hungry Badger, and they're over by where the hotel is, right?
Yeah, Best
That's
Western Hotel, right there off of Gurley Street and
and
60.
what time is that going to be?
Um, Probably here in a little bit. We'll see what happens. Probably after 10. Probably after 10.
Cool. Well, do your exit. Tell them how to follow you and all this other good stuff. And don't forget to tune into him in an hour or so. The Hungry Badger.
Yeah, most definitely. So, anyways, there's a lot of places that you guys can find us. And if anybody wants to know if they don't have these social platforms or jumped off the social platforms, you are always able to go to the PrescottTimes.com for sure. We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, um, Parlor, Nextdoor, and I think there's a couple more that we're going to join in. It just depends on what's actually happening. So make sure you guys follow us whenever you guys are in need of some local info. And if you guys have any information that you want to go ahead and provide, you're more than welcome to at editor@theprescotttimes.com, or you can go ahead and message us right here on our pages. And Eric, once again, man, thank you. Thank you. We are now on our 150th. Just kidding.
We'll have to count. It's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a little bit of math. How many months ago did it start? And we've been doing it 5 days a week since then. So how many do we have? I know I have a whole bunch because I started this like years ago, but with
No,
this simple one here,
but we're pretty darn close. Yeah.
let's see. Let's count, Eric. How many months have we been doing it?
I just don't know what day. It was back to March sometime, wasn't it?
Oh,
It was
shoot.
early March.
Let's see. March. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 months. 5 times 30. 150, right?
I'm gonna do some rough math here. Hold on. Let's see real quick, and then let's wrap this up. Looks like it looks like 131 days so far.
Wow. And then you know,
And those are show days. Those aren't weekends. Those are excluding all that stuff.
oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I was gonna say, do we X out the whatever you call it?
I
So
did.
we're gonna have to start addressing the episode. Welcome to our 130th episode of what's happening in the Prescott or the 863. What is happening in the 863? I really like that. I don't know if we should like break it down a little bit. The 863. Maybe we should break it down to the 863, Eric.
Maybe. I think we're. I don't know. We'll have to do another survey.
Yeah, break it down, guys. So, anyways, I'm out of here. Got a lot of things to do today. Make sure you follow the Prescott Times, and if you guys once again have any information, I know people were sending me photos of that comet that happened to fly by last night. Thank you guys. Those things are so beautiful, and keep on sending me pictures. I like that stuff.
Yeah,
And
people love the pictures.
yes. So peace, love, and happiness, and let it not be war. Let's see you guys here tomorrow for our last show for the week, and